show me how you do that trick. The one that makes me scream, he said. The one that makes me laugh, he said. And threw his arms around my neck. Show me how you do it, and I'll promise you, I promise that.
Hey everybody, it's the top of the hour. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm in that mood, but I am. That just means, though, that you've got a couple minutes here to grab yourself a snack, get something to drink, get all comfy cozy. Share out the link with your folk who aren't already in the stream, because 6 o'clock Dad Rock Talk will begin in about 2.5 minutes.
Why are you so far away, he said, and won't you ever know that I'm in love with you, that I'm in love with you. You, soft and only you, lost and lonely you, strange as angels dancing in the deepest ocean, twisting in the water. You're just like a dream. You're just like a dream. Me into shape. I must have been asleep for days and moving lips to breathe his name. I opened up my eyes and I found myself alone above a raging sea that stole the only one I loved, and it drowned him deep inside of me. Soft and only you, lost and lonely you, strange as angels dancing in the deepest ocean, twisting in the water. You're just like a dream. You're just like a dream.
Welcome to the Virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for 6 o'clock Dad Rock Talk. So please welcome to your screen, 6 o'clock Dad Rock Talk.
Hey folks, welcome to the show. I'm Corey Behringer. This is 6 o'clock Dad Rock Talk, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Cord Hansen. How you doing, Cord? Can't hear you, unfortunately.
Hey, am I coming through now?
Yeah.
Okay,
now you are.
Yeah, I'm not used to my new headphones yet. They have a switch on them that controls the microphone, but it doesn't say on off. It's just like in or out. So it's hard to remember on the spot. But I was saying you didn't have a nickname for me.
I know.
So
yeah,
I feel it's almost like the character that I've been playing over the course of this show and the real me have merged into one sort of satirical piece. Where I'm trapped in the persona that I've created over the course of this show.
Well, I'm glad I could impose that upon you, if not thrust upon you a delightful nickname, as I'm so wont to do. I forgot until moments before the show started to come up with a hilarious nickname for you, and I was scanning the track listing for the topic we have tonight, and I almost tried to do something with dandruff. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But I'm sure both of our, both the people on the show know what we're talking about so far. But yeah, we are talking. I guess we could just go right into it as far as what the topic is before we introduce our guest. This week on the show, folks, we are discussing the Monkees, but specifically their fantastic movie Head. God, what a wild ride this was.
Yeah.
None of us had seen this movie going into it, but I think we all had some kind of I almost said understanding of it, but frankly, does anybody understand this movie? I think I do.
I think I do.
I think I get it, but like, there's moments there where, oh boy, this was just such a fun ride for me, though, and to help us go track by track on this week, we're joined by special guest Buddy Dean. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you both for having me here.
Absolutely.
This was a fun one.
Yes, I thought that you might enjoy this because viewers of the Stab Network probably know Buddy from his show, the Obscure Movie Trivia Show. So you were kind of the first person that came to mind because when Court pitched the idea to do Head, I immediately said yes. I was like, yeah, that is a great idea. And then I thought, this is certainly one that we want another person to kind of bounce things off of. Because anytime you're riffing on a movie, you just like, you need that other person there. So yeah, you were first to my mind, and I'm so relieved right off the bat that you enjoyed it because we haven't spoken, none of us have spoken really about our thoughts on this movie until right now. We're going to get into it right now. I'm going to go first by laying all my cards on the table. I love this movie completely unironically.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's fantastic. Like, it is so genuinely entertaining. I watched it twice in the last week.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it on Saturday, stoned out of my gourd on edibles. And worth noting, that's like the first good experience I've ever had on edibles. Like truly like wonderful night kind of experience. All the others had good moments and then the bad like existential crisis moments. This was like the first time that everything went swimmingly. And then I watched it completely clear-headed this morning before I went to work. And it was just as enjoyable, frankly. Like it didn't have like the sensory overload at times, but I was clear-headed enough to like really appreciate the jokes and the I guess the message of Head. Let's get right into this. Can anyone tell me the message of Head?
I was kind of hinting at it at the beginning when we were talking about nicknames and being trapped inside of characters. But it just seemed like both the Monkees themselves and also people involved with the show just kind of like giving it a very kind of Seinfeld finale send-off where these characters are like trapped in purgatory and being judged by all the people that they come across. So that was the message that I took from it, is just like fame is a box that you can't escape from, and you might think you get out and then you just land in another box that's even weirder.
It was not heavy-handed it was heavy-handed but not in a bad way. Like they kept pushing the message. There was like some anti-capitalism, a couple of little messages, but overall it was just anti-fame and being I loved it. I really, really liked this movie, again, unironically as well.
Yeah, right? And this movie has like a cult following for being just like kind of a batshit crazy sort of movie. And I went into it kind of expecting more of that. And I was pleasantly surprised to see like a pretty cohesive, like, not plot. It's certainly not a plot, but like a cohesive flow of one thing to another. It really didn't. It was edited beautifully. I kept thinking that.
There's a lot of really
great,
really clever, funny and jump cuts too. Like there's I guess it's more or less just different like sketches in the movie. But the one where Mickey Dolenz and Mike Nesmith are like cavalry, like army guys.
That is a great
and
scene.
Just like when they're talking about Peter and Davy like being back on retreat, and it's just a quick flash to them, and it's a flashback to them with the belly dancers. And then when Mickey walks out of the scene and he just like punches through the backdrop in the wall, like that totally caught me by surprise because I did not realize they were on a soundstage. And then later when they came back through that same wall, it was so crazy.
Yeah. I adore that. What were you saying?
Oh, sorry. I just said Mickey was great throughout.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He is like such a ball of energy, which I know, like coming from the sitcom, that was really his role, was like just a maniac. And he amps it up to such a degree in this movie. Especially like what comes to mind is his desert sequence early in the movie.
That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh my God. Like, he's nuts.
And
so I love this. But
that that long setup in the desert scene, not the after the Coke machine gets exploded. I don't even remember if that's before or after it gets exploded. But when the dude like rides up on the horse and it's all like super epic, and then it just this quick zoom in, just and then he rides off.
I laughed my ass off. That was like the first laugh out loud moment in the movie for me. Yeah. And it really got me. Because it builds the tension so well, and to release it so quickly.
It reminded me of like Wonder Chosen.
Yeah, yes.
Like the editing reminded me a lot of Wonder Chosen. And also the kind of like mixing kiddie imagery with horrifying like war imagery and stuff. Also very Wonder Chosen-y.
Totally. It has that very, very dark edge. That doesn't come across as like, look at us, we're so dark and edgy. It's just like, we're going to creep this in on you. And then we're going to do a bunch of other, like, just fun stuff that doesn't have a dark edge. And then we're going to go back to that creepy edge again. Like, we're just going to keep teasing you with it. Buddy, I'm curious, what was your understanding of the Monkees going into this? Were you familiar with them that much, or what was your mindset?
I was familiar with them in that I have listened to their music a lot throughout my life. Did not know about the TV show until doing research for this, and there was a lot of things there was tons of stuff I did not know about them just until watching this movie the first time. I also did watch it twice, and I really enjoyed it. And so like I looked into it, especially Mickey, because I found myself just attached to whatever he was doing throughout the movie. And so it made me enjoy it a lot more, and the second time around, and just the fact that the music throughout this was so good, and I was happy about that because it was nice. It was fun throughout.
That makes me so happy that this little dinky show like turns you on to the story of the Monkees, because like, for those of you who don't know, I mean, we can give like the quickest sort of rundown. They were a manufactured
the Monkees.
band.
People say they monkey around, etc.
But they're too busy singing. But so they were put together for the purpose of a sitcom to basically capitalize on the success of Hard Day's Night and Beatlemania. And the idea was like, let's put together a band and sell some records and have a successful TV show. And then pretty much accidentally they made a real band. Like the members themselves like progressed with it, and it grew from there. And how special is that? Like that's never happened since. It certainly didn't happen before. It's so unique to the Monkees. There's really no other band you can compare them to, ironically enough. Like you can't compare them to any of like the Beatles type thing, because it's a completely different story. I love this so much. This show, like this week, has really brought me back around to the Monkees. Like I loved them so much when I was about 10 years old, and then found other music. And now I'm coming back around to them, and it's like, holy shit! Like these songs are so good. And now that I have a deeper appreciation for like country rock influences and stuff like that. I'm seeing so much more in the band. Oh man, I feel like we're gushing too much at the top. We need to get right into the soundtrack. So what we're going to be doing on this is going track by track on the soundtrack, which is unlike really any other film soundtrack in that it doesn't only have the songs that are featured in it, it has snippets of dialogue and scenes, but whereas most soundtrack soundtrack releases that do that will have it in a pretty sequential order that the film follows. Jack Nicholson is actually responsible for the sequencing, and he threw it all in different spots. Like, he didn't put it as in like, okay, after this song, this clip happens.
Yeah.
In the movie, it becomes a completely different art piece, really.
Did you?
And it's really unique for that.
Did you notice him in his little cameo in the movie?
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes.
I knew to look for him, but I just must have missed the cameo. I knew that he popped up.
It's one of those, if you blink, you'll miss it cameos. Yeah.
Well, we should also state that he wrote the movie and came up with the idea too, which is super crazy.
With the director, the show wasn't really doing so well, and they being the entire production crew basically of it, the creative force behind it, they were all pretty much tapped out on it. So then they all went away to I forget where, it doesn't really matter, but they holed up in like a hotel with a tape recorder, and they all just riffed and just talked about what a movie would be. And then Jack Nicholson took those tapes and wrote what we have before us. It's such a trip. It's wild. So let's get right into it. Jesse, will you please play the first track, which is really the opening scene of the movie. It's opening ceremony.
Suspended arch bridges in the world.
Head. Humming.
I mean, why don't we use plastic things? Millions!
Suck it.
They're coming! They're coming!
$1 million ahead.
That's enough. Let's cut it vertically. Pleasure, the inevitable byproduct of our civilization. A new world, whose only preoccupation will be
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby dedicate this magnificent marvel of modern architecture, one of the largest suspended arch bridges in the world, to the people of
So that was sort of a sound collage of other elements in the movie that kind of tied around the opening scene, which is, I believe, supposed to be a governor or
a mayor
or something. A mayor, right? Who's dedicating.
I feel like mayors do the ribbon cuttings and things usually.
That's true. And it's such a sort of classic, Marx Brothers-esque sort of bit that they do.
Yeah, with the microphone.
The mayor is trying to speak, and it's feedback, and then he has his security guard try it, and it's fine. And it's a silly bit that goes on for a while, and then the monkeys they come in and they just ruin everything because they're the monkeys. They're monkeying around right at the top of the movie, and I love that the movie begins on that kind of a note of just monkey shenanigans, because it almost lures you into thinking that's what the movie's going to be like.
Yeah, because it has that very Hard Day's Night style thing where they're running away, but it's a much more panicked sort of running away. It's the kind of running away where you might jump off a really tall bridge.
Yes, which of course it's exactly what Mickey does. And then we get the first proper musical number in it, which is Porpoise Song. Let's just go right into Porpoise Song. Let's hear this, Jesse. What were you thinking when you first heard this, buddy? I want to know where your head was at.
First of all, because of the movie and the video, I was like, I got really obsessed with the idea, is he banging a mermaid? Which is definitely what he's doing. But I love this track so much. I watched it very high, and as soon as this song hit, I sat back and I was like, okay, I made the right choice, because this was perfect. Like, it made me feel like it relaxed me.
I'm so happy to hear that, because we had nearly the same experience upon first viewing. That was like when it really like hit for me, was as he like fell into the river, and I was eating a Klondike bar, and all was right with the world, like everything. And I turned to Jacqueline, I said, like, this was a good decision. This was like, everything is good about this right now. Like, this is right. Great song. It's co-written Jerry Goffin and Carole King, who I actually wasn't aware, like, Carole King was responsible for as many Monkees songs as she was. I didn't realize she was in the stable of songwriters, along with like everyone, but a lot of people know. Oh my goodness, why did I just blank on his name? I'm not a big fan of his. Neil Diamond. Wrote a bunch of Monkey songs, like some of the best Monkey songs. But I didn't realize she was in there. And man, what a great song. What was your take on this, Court?
This was the only Monkees song, other than like the big like hits that everyone knows. It was the only one that I was really familiar with. Because I had just kind of come across it while I was making playlists, and just looking for kind of like chilled out psych rock.
Well, this is it.
And so I was drawn to this one quite a while ago, but I didn't know the context of it in the movie. I didn't know the context of it in their careers. I just knew that I liked this one. But yeah, I like anything with like a very droning kind of looping organ going underneath the vocals. I love anything that has that.
And speaking of the vocals, one of my favorite elements of it is this sort of it's a deceptive quality that I think the Monkees are great at, whether or not it was intentional. And that is, it begins in a certain way that makes you think that it's derivative of something else, and then it kind of takes a corner. That's like kind of a roundabout way of saying, when his vocal effect starts at the real hook of it, at first you're thinking, oh, they're doing John Lennon's vocal pitch mod. But then he hits a note when he says goodbye. John Lennon would never take that note. It's not that he couldn't, but that's just not a John note. And it's so unique. Like, it suddenly becomes its own sound. And I love that, because it totally fooled me into thinking, essentially falling prey to the cliche of the Monkees, which is, oh, well, it's derivative of the Beatles. But no, like, if you listen a little closer, it's much more unique. All right, let's get right over to Diddy Diego War Chant.
Hey, hey, we are the Monkees. You know we love to please. A manufactured image with no philosophies. We hope you like our story, although there isn't one. That is to say, there's many. That way there is more fun. You've told us you like action and games of many kind. You like to dance, we like to sing, so let's all lose our minds.
We know it doesn't matter, because what you came to see is what we'd love to give you, and give it 1, 2, 3.
But it may come 3, 2, 1, 2, or jump from 9 to 5. And when you see the end in sight, the beginning may arrive.
For those who look for meanings, in form as they do fact, we might tell you one thing, but we'd only take it back.
Not back like in a box back, not back like in a race, not back so we can keep it, but back in time and space.
You say we're manufactured, to that we all agree. So make your choice and we'll rejoice in never being free.
Hey, hey, we are the Monkees, we've said it all before. The money's in, we're made of tin, we're here to give you more. The money's in, we're made of tin, we're here to give you...
Yeah, so... I'm going to hold my tongue for a little bit. I want to know what you guys thought about this.
I think it's like the thesis statement of the whole project.
Yeah. And how subversive it's done. Like, so Jack Nicholson wrote this in particular. He wrote like the lyrics to this little ditty, and I'm having a hard time thinking of another example of a pop band. Specifically, I'm talking like pop band here that makes such a hard left turn on really everything they've been doing up to that point. And like, I don't know, just like this this attitude of we know exactly what you think of us, and now we're going to give you something completely different, that's packaged in such a way that will make you think it's what you want. And like, how subversive is that? Like, I can't think of another band that has done that. I mean, and we'll kind of, I guess we can get into it right now. Like, the Monkees themselves, in retrospect, and as well as a lot of people at the time, viewed this as sort of career suicide. They felt that like the creative team behind the Monkees concocted this movie to kill the Monkees because they wanted to go on and do movies and they wanted to be done with it. And Davy Jones, in a documentary I watched earlier today, was even saying it was a mistake to make Head when they did. They should have made something, in his words, like Ghostbusters. Like, that's what we should have done at the time. And he's not wrong. Like, I think as far as career trajectory, that would have been a smarter move, but I'm so glad they didn't. I'm so glad they made Head instead. Because this is just a brilliant piece of film art. And we get our first, like, truly, I mean, you could even be cynical about it and call it like a sophomoric sort of art bent on it. At the end of this song, the little ditty that they do, suddenly you get the famous shot of the man being executed in Vietnam. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, they catch you off guard with some of that Vietnam War stuff, which this movie came out in '68, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of agreed upon as, like, for Americans and for a lot of the Vietnamese people, that was the worst year of the war. That was when we had a bunch of assassinations here in the U.S., and that was also the Tet Offensive in Vietnam. I think that I've seen other things use that footage in ways that I found distasteful and kind of exploitative, like that movie Da 5 Bloods, the Spike.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Yeah, the newer one.
Yeah, I really did not like that movie. We don't have to get into it.
Oh, okay. That's another show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for Blood Beefs, our other show. But in that case, they incorporated a lot of pretty ghastly footage, and it felt like it was meant to just be a cheap shock and shock you, because we've all seen that footage so much now in documentaries and newsreels and stuff. And so for someone to just like insert it into a movie from 2019 or whatever, just felt kind of cheap and schlocky. But this was happening while the war was happening. Yeah. And that feels a lot more impressive that they did include it, because people didn't want to talk about the nasty stuff in the war. And here you have this like children's entertainment group, like flashing images of people getting killed by Americans. Yeah. Or, you know, in this case, South Vietnamese backed by the Americans. But there's also footage throughout the movie of like Vietnamese village people like running scared, and they intercut it with other like imagery of the band in I think some interesting ways, like where they have like actually I think it's the next song
oh sweet oh yeah with Circle
that has
Sky.
That
which is a beautiful sequence.
While they're playing and it's showing all the fans like reacting and screaming and crying and stuff, it cuts to actual footage of people screaming and crying, and somehow for me it just didn't feel exploitative the way it could have if handled differently. It felt artfully done. It felt intentional and purposeful instead of just like cheap. And
it felt to me like the purpose was a a conscious refusal to the audience to not let this be escapism. Like, we're not gonna let you have a fun monkeys movie. We're gonna blast you with some truths, and you're just gonna have to deal with that if you want to get to Circle Sky, which let's hear right now. Such a rad song. I just love it right off the bat with like that walk down of the bar chords. You know, it feels it feels a little bit like something that Court and I were talking about leading up to this show, which is the Monkees are surprisingly punk rock sometimes. Like, they just have these moments in their songs that just feel like, you know, early punk. In the same vein as, like, I feel like punk in the same way that the Kinks were punk. Does that make sense? Like that same attitude behind it. This is a cool song. What was your take on this sequence, buddy?
I actually had written down that this was the only song, kind of like Court, the only song before hearing this soundtrack that I had heard before, because I had found it looking for songs for a different playlist. This song felt, I have it written down, it felt like a mix between like early punk and like beach rock. Like I really, really liked it a lot. The guitar at the beginning is really, really nice. I just love that. I just love that intro part with the guitar, and then the vocals on it are definitely punk rock. Like, there's definitely like some harshness to his voice. I dig it.
Yeah, and I love that you bring up the guitar, because it's not just what he's played. I love that he's able to make it sound rough while playing a completely clean tone. Like, there's no distortion on that. and the guitar he's playing would be like perfect for distortion. He's got those fat humbuckers on it, like that should be screaming at us, but instead it's just plunking away. But he's playing so passionately that it comes across like a punk rocker. Great tune. Let's get to the next well, I was just thinking for a second if maybe we can do the let's do the next clip right into Can You Dig It? So Jesse, sorry, this was kind of a convoluted way of doing it, but it's a brief dialogue clip that I think would be nice to go right into the song after it. So Jesse, if you could just play the next two songs, that'd be great.
Isn't it, George Michael Dolans? I said.
doesn't change. There is only one, always changing inside. What does it become? Can you dig it? Do you know? Would you care to let it show? Those who know it use it, those who scorn it die. To sing that you can dig it is to make your soul fly. To heaven, can you dig it? Do you know? Would you care to let it show?
All right, so that was Can You Dig It? That was a Peter Tork original, sung, of course, by Mickey Dolenz. But it really shows how, like, Peter was one of those kind of, I think, like a sleeper hit for me, like, as far as his writing ability that I didn't really appreciate as a kid, because he has a smaller output for the band than like Mike, but it really shows what he was bringing to the table, which was like your proto-hippie, with just grooves. Like, and this one is so groovy. Especially like what hits me are those like hard chops on the chorus. Oh man, those were hitting like a euphoric sense, like right on my neck as it was happening, and it was just so perfect. I wasn't crazy about the visuals on this one. I thought it was a little one note for how great the song is. I would have liked more happening. What did you guys think of this visual sequence? You gotta click yourself again, Court.
Sorry, I've been very sneezy today, and I don't want to be snorting and sniffling during my downtime on the show, and so sometimes I forget which position I left the switch in.
It's all good.
But I was saying, I mean, I like 60s babes. That's
true.
That's true, and that's primarily what I think
established
we're
about
going
you.
for. Yeah,
it's a well-known fact.
And I think that the sequence itself was not really going for much more than like, hey, let's hear this song, let's look at some 60s babes, let's look at the band. But it certainly did feel longer than the other musical segments. Probably, just visually not that interesting. You're right.
Yeah. I think that you're correct in like their intention.
Interesting for the presence of 60s babes, but less interesting for that same reason as well.
Yeah, I mean, mission accomplished. They did what they set out to do, I'm sure. What did you think, buddy?
I liked the vocals on this song, and the arrangement's good. This is probably because I've re-listened to the soundtrack a couple times on my way to work now. This is probably my least favorite just song all in general, but I really dug the vocals on it, and you were right, this is probably like the least visual pleasing of all the music sequences. But I think Court is right in that was the idea, in that because of how big this song is, that they were like, hey, just enjoy the music, and as Court said, the 60s babes.
Exactly.
The first time I heard this song, I thought I heard more of a sitar sound in it, but I realized listening more closely this time that it doesn't really have that. They're more playing. It's definitely on like guitars, not a sitar.
Yeah, but I think it is. It's very plunky nylon. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Which a lot of I think most like overblown 60s psychedelic pop is the like sitar influenced stuff. I think that feels the most dated, and that's probably why that visual sequence also kind of felt the most dated too, is because like you can see 60s babes doing belly dancing on like Batman, like from that period. It's like that's not that unique visually in the time that it was in, but this one musically it just kind of clicked for me this time around, because I realized it wasn't just relying on the cheap psychedelic tricks. They're actually kind of doing some interesting stuff with their instruments.
Yeah. Well, Jesse, the next couple tracks are both just like kind of several seconds long. So if we could just truck right through those. So if you want to do track 7 and then Superstitious and into As We Go Along, which will be the next
And
actual
I'd
song.
like a glass of cold gravy with a hair in it, please.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
I think that's one of Nicki's like sweetest vocal performances. I love this song so much. And it's the first time, it was actually noticing today when I was watching it. And I'm curious if you guys will agree or disagree. I think there are a lot of times actually that Mickey Dolenz' voice sounds very similar to Grace Slick. There's a very similar tonal quality and phrasing.
I've been trying to put my finger on it and figure out why these songs remind me of some other song, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but I think you nailed it.
It's Jefferson Airplane. Like,
yeah,
he totally hits like some of his like where he'll like quickly say some of the syllables will be kind of smushed together. Like that's a total Grace Slick move. I don't know. Like I would love to hear vice versa covers. Like I would love to hear Grace Slick do some Monkeys, and I would love to hear Mickey Dolenz do like White Rabbit or Somebody to Love.
Yeah.
He would kill Somebody to Love. Like that would be amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What'd you think of this song, buddy?
This is I love this song. This is a beautiful. The guitar is beautiful. Is there a use of flute in there? It definitely sounded like some kind of like wind instrument at a point in the song. I loved every moment of it. This one I've listened to a bunch of times. It's so beautiful. I really like like you said, the vocals on it. The video was like kind of like roughly shot, but I liked that. And this one was where I finally picked up on like the whole thing of the movie is it's got like really great sound editing, even in the like non-musical scenes, because it's trying to get you to like, it's definitely the sound is edited in order to invoke feelings of like tension or non-tension, and the way the songs just go into like this smoothness in the movie. And listening to it on the track, I love it. I love it.
And what was the video sequence for this song?
I don't remember. Yeah,
it's so plain. It's another plain one. I think this is the one where they're like through the field and stuff like that. Like, there's not a lot to it. I just wrote down rough imagery, but shot well, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one though. Let's hear Dandruff.
Supernatural, perhaps.
Change one tape, the entire process is re-geared. Pleasure, the inevitable byproduct of our civilization. Tragedy of your times, my young friends, is that you may get exactly what you want.
Out. Oh, God, get out of here.
Hi, what's going on?
Move it, out.
Oh, hello, officer. Certainly glad to...
Shut up. Okay, weirdos.
All right, fellas, will you come forward, please? Who's that? All right, now jump up and down a little.
Jump
Come on,
into
fellas,
this?
get lost
What
in
is
it.
this?
There you go. Very good. Look, you're supposed to be dandruff, fellas. Will you work at it, please? Jump up and down a little bit. Good.
Dandruff.
That's better.
Dandruff.
That's good. Good.
Dandruff.
That's better.
Dandruff.
That's good. Good.
Dandruff.
All right, so that was a delightful sequence in which the monkeys are somehow doing a commercial out of nowhere. Like it just kind of flows into them suddenly being on a soundstage, shooting a commercial in which they are dandruff, and then they're sucked up by a vacuum and into the vacuum, which is very reminiscent of the Beatles' Help. I don't know if that was intentional. I feel like it probably was, because Help was like 4 years earlier. So it was and interestingly enough, I found out today that I don't remember the composer's name, but the composer who did the incidental music on Help also composed the incidental music on this. So it's just a neat little connection there. But yeah, there's a great sequence in Help where they also get shrunk down. This is wild. This is like the first time I believe, right, in the movie where we're in a box. Like now we're actually there, and then things build from there. I want to get right to the unless you guys had any more thoughts on that.
I just wanted to talk a little more about this, like the sequence leading up to the actual reveal that they're in a commercial. So I thought that was really funny too. Like first off, they're being like led through it looks like they're getting ready to launch them into space or something, and they kind of make you think it's going to be like some sort of science fiction-y thing. And then you also have just this bizarre thing where accidents and disturbing things keep happening in the background, and only Peter Tork is seeing them.
Come on, Peter.
The best one is when they walk through the room of like the women at the typewriters, and then just before they leave the room, one of the typewriter's heads just like falls off on the table, and it's a mannequin, and it was really freaky and just really funny too. And so then the reveal that they were being led and being told that it was all dangerous and stuff for the commercial was just it was a funny reveal.
Yeah, I love that whole sequence. Let's hear Daddy's song.
Years ago I knew a man. He was my mother's biggest fan. We used to walk beside the sea, and he told me how life would be when I grew up to be a man. Years ago we used to play. He used to laugh when I ran away. But when I fell and hurt my knee, he would run to comfort me, and the pain would go away. Years ago I knew a boy. He was his daddy's pride and joy.
So this is one of the eerier sequences to me, set to fantastic Harry Nilsson song. He's just doing like this very, I don't even, like, I guess it's vaudeville-esque, but like whatever the British equivalent that they had over the, the sort of dance hall, I think they called it, or like music hall type thing. That I feel like Davy Jones, his voice is what I imagine Harry Nilsson had in mind when he was writing those kind of songs. Because there's a fair amount of those in his catalog, of like those kind of old-timey sounds. And Davy Jones' voice is just perfect for it. And I don't know. This was fantastic because it's that perfect tone of that like seeps through a lot of the movie, which is like the cheerful quality with the dark seething underbelly, which is the song itself of just a very sad song about abandonment.
This is probably my least favorite song on the soundtrack. I didn't I had a feeling that it was by Harry Nilsson, because the more I thought about it, I realized that it's the exact same song as 1941, exact same, literally telling the same story. And does he even mention those same years in Daddy's song as well? Does he mention
He might.
and that's a song that I like a lot, and it has a lot of the same sort of like musical stylings to it, and so it was weird to hear just like another version of the same thing. And I don't know which one came first, but I think I like 1941 a little better, and so this one, I can't enjoy this one without the other one kind of creeping in and thinking like, oh, there's another song that's exactly like this that doesn't. So I don't know.
I get it.
It's not bad. It's just
no, totally. Yeah, I'm a fan of when artists have like, whether it's fictional or their actual biographies. Like I like when there's just recurring themes and like the same story being told. But I get where you're coming from as well.
Musically, it's just very similar with kind of the almost like New Orleans brass bands, almost ragtime kind of vibe to it. Yeah. It feels like a rough draft of a song that I do like a lot more.
Sure. How did you feel though with the the return happens? Like, because the way the sequence works is like, he does the song and then he has like the breakdown and then it all comes back. Did that do anything for you? Because that did a whole hell of a lot for me.
Man, I just can't remember it that well. I just remember the basic parts of this sequence, which was him just like singing. And elaborate.
Well, he is singing. Well, yeah, I explained it kind of weird or just very bluntly. So he does the song as we just heard it there, and then he like the music all stops and there's a spotlight on him, and then he just kind of speaks the words of a verse.
Oh, right.
And then it all comes back, and then he does it.
Yeah.
And it really struck a chord with me because it managed to be, on the surface level, it hit me as a joke. Like it had a punchline to it because it was like jarring, but then it was also, I don't know, like somewhat disturbing. I got almost like Lynchian vibes from it, which I know is a very easy thing to throw out there when anything's weird in film. But it had a certain
look at the
quality
reviews for
to it.
WandaVision.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, I dug that. What did you think, buddy?
I love this song. I wrote this was Davey's time to shine. He absolutely goes wild on this one. I love, like I was saying earlier with the sound editing, there's a lot of songs, especially when Mike is singing, that it's the instruments are way more prevalent than his vocals. But anytime Davey's on, it does not matter the instruments in the back. He just outshines them.
Yeah.
Like there's a full-on horn section going on, and Davey's just levels above it, and I love it. I love it. This isn't one that I always go back to, but I just really liked it, and I did like the sequence. It was very theatrical, and it felt like a musical play almost, the way it was set up and done. I liked it a lot.
Well, I think it's worth mentioning that Davy Jones does come from a musical theater background. Like that was his big break, was as the Artful Dodger in Oliver in the West End. So he definitely brings that to the table of like, I'm a song and dance man, And there's some great old clips of pre-Monkees Davy Jones like solo career, because he actually came to the States pursuing that. And then like his agents got him on audition for Monkees, and then that just took off. But they were pushing him as just a solo artist, and it has a very similar quality to this of just like, I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, I go back to vaudeville, like it's essentially that. But yeah, this is cool. Let's skip a little just so we can hear, because we're kind of wrapping up around time here. Before we hear the last song, Buddy, could you pitch whatever, or plug, I should say. Don't pitch. They're going to see what you're going to do. You don't need to convince them. But plug whatever your heart desires to plug.
Every Tuesday on this very channel on Stab at 8 p.m. you can catch me doing obscure movie trivia. We pick a very popular movie to be the movie of the week, that way to bring the eyes in. But if you watch the show, it gets obscure throughout the rounds. It is the most fun I get to have every single week. And yeah, that's me.
Right on. Well, it was a pleasure having you here. I love when a guest loves the topic, and then it's just cherries on the top when they do the work. And buddy, you did the work this week, like way more than I would have expected. I love it, and I just want you to know it did not go unappreciated. So I guess we could plug a little bit real quick. If you want to follow us on Instagram at Dad Rock Talk, that's where we post all the upcoming shows and what have you, all the fun graphics that Court designs for us. And, tune in next week. We don't know what the topic will be. I feel like it'll be probably something to do with isolation because it's the quarantine anniversary of Stab. So we'll probably do something along those lines. Maybe have a Brian Wilson episode or something. But yeah, let's go ahead and listen to the last song, Jesse. Could you go straight to long title, Do I Have to Do This All Over Again? I love Peter. I love him so much. This is such a great way to like close the movie. Just like, I don't know, the attitude of it is so strong. And I mean, to kind of make a winking gesture to the audience too, because the movie is, circular. It starts back where it began. So there's that. I do want to know what you guys think about the song, but I'm reminded, since this is a Peter song, that we really didn't touch on his contributions in the movie scene-wise. He had some of my very favorite moments. I think tied for the favorite moments would be the cantina scene where he hits the waitress, and then there's the skerfuffle of like, all right, cut, and then he's just like, I just don't feel good about this, man. Like, it's about the image. Like, the kids, this is a movie for kids. They're not going to dig it. Love that. And, no, even more so, because upon viewing it today, it hit so much harder, was the boxing scene, where Davy Jones gets the shit beat out of him by Sonny Liston. And it goes somewhere I was not expecting, which is, Mickey freaking out and hitting everybody and saying, I'm not the dummy, you're the dummy, I'm not the dummy. And then Pete just appears in the ring and says, I'm the dummy, which is a wonderful nod to the show, where Pete always played the doofus, basically, which wasn't really him in real life. He was always the dummy, though. And that's like, I think that's my favorite, excuse me. That's my favorite moment of them acknowledging the mythology of the monkeys and turning it on its head. I love that so much. What did you guys think of the song, though? I'm rambling too much because I'm in such a happy place.
Courtyard.
God damn it.
Son of a bitch.
He had so
I'm
many
back.
good points.
Yeah. I was just saying I like the song. Not too much to add.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter's parts throughout the movie are very funny too. The one where they're in the trenches and he has to go and get the ammo and he's like in the trench and he gets attacked by the football player. That was so bizarre, and he was like really being like pushed up against that wall. They all take a beating in this movie. Like,
yeah,
when
very physical movie.
There's two scenes where Mickey takes extended falls down hills, and as far as I could tell, it was actually him, not a double. And between that and the football guy, and they get beat up a lot in this. Falling out of the vacuum tube into the vacuum box, like they,
and
then
of course the boxing scene where he's just beat to a pulp, which again, like if we want to talk about, you know, turning any kind of pop expectation on its head, you have this pretty boy frontman who was, you know the heartthrob, the teen heartthrob, and you're gonna just beat him to a bloody pulp. Like,
make him look ugly too. Like,
ugly. Very,
yeah,
exactly.
Like he looks visually, it looks so much like the end of Rocky, which is interesting because Rocky came like 8 years after this. But it looked like the way the fight scenes in Rocky are shot, and I just wonder if there's any overlap there where the fight choreography and just the way it was shot. I don't know, but it really looked.
I would love to find out that Sylvester Stallone was a big Monkees fan. That would make my month.
Would be awesome.
Well, this was a hoot and a half. I'm so happy we did this, buddy. You're welcome back anytime you want. If there's a dad rock fixture that you would like to talk at some length about, hit us up. Let us know. Let's do an episode on whatever something you're very passionate about. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So thanks again for coming on, and thank you all for watching us. We hope you enjoyed this even a tiny bit as much as we enjoyed talking about it. And have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Corey, buddy, one more time. That's it for Dad Rock Talk, but that's not it for Stab for the night. Come back in about an hour, top of the hour, 8 o'clock, for the Stab Show. I know. Redundant enough at Stab? Yeah, we are. Jordan Gannon, Nicki Fuchs, and Daniel Humbarger. It's going to be a lot of fun. In the meantime, let's see if we can't throw you. Oh, no. Oh, Delicioso. Oh, thanks for rating, but we're going to send people... Okay, you know what? Hold on. You're going to get double rated. I was about to send folk over. Let's send you guys over to Comedy Hub. So don't worry. You got here at the end of this. But if you hold on for just 1 second, you're just going to ride this raid wave, and we'll send you over to some stand-up comedy at Comedy Hub. But come back at 8 o'clock. Thank you again, Delicioso. But come back at 8 for the next Stab Show. In the meantime, hold on, and we're going to send you guys over real quick to Comedy Hub. See you back here at 8 o'clock for the Stab Show.
Consequence.
Hey there, everybody.
Jesse at work on the keys over there.
Yeah, classing up the joint.
Tickling the ivories.
I have too many keyboards in front of me, as it happens. 1, 2, 3. Why is this set up like this? I don't know. It could probably be so much easier. But this is how it's been for the last 50 and a half weeks. So why mix it up now? Hey, everybody. Welcome, Carol Tassa. Carol Tassa? Just found us, just followed, never seen Stab before. Well, you're in for a treat! Because this is what this is. Welcome everybody. Hi there. These are your panel. We'll get to the show proper eventually, but you know what? We like to keep some traditions alive around here. Jordan and Daniel, familiar with, when we did the shows in real life, how we would just dick around for 5-10 minutes until the audience maybe eventually wandered in.
All 5 of them would show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's generally how.
Those were the days.
And just
the comic spot, that was for me. And then Luna's.
We just sit there and continue to stretch and continue to start later and later. No, audience is going to show up. No.
They would, though. They would.
They
would. Always came out. They love live local comedy.
That's true.
In droves.
Yeah. If there's one thing that I've learned over the... How long have I been punishing myself doing various forms of comedy in this town? It's that people love to support live local comedy. So
yeah, and the more obscure you are, the better.
Oh yeah.
Like, they don't want to go, see somebody they've heard of on TV. They're like, who?
Sacramento is the most anti-star power city that you'll ever find for comedy. They just
they don't even allow telescopes.
Yeah. That's why
we are.
So many weather machines. That's why it's overcast here. 0 star power in Sacramento.
0.
Yeah. You try doing a Doppler effect in Sacramento. They won't allow it because it's related to astrophysics, and no, not on our watch.
Nope. So that's the kind of stuff you're going to get for the next hour. Welcome everybody. Welcome. We're gonna just hang out for a sec. Then we'll start the show proper in a couple minutes. We're just gonna.
Yeah.
Even in online shows, people still can't bother to be prompt or punctual, so that's why we vamp for a little while. So let's see. Let's not use up all the good answers. Save those for the actual show. But let's sort of meet some of our panel tonight. Let's go. I don't know. How about let's start with Nicki. Hey there, Nicki.
Hi.
Good to have you. You come highly recommended from a friend of ours, Alyssa Cowan.
Bestie.
I was reaching out saying who would you suggest? I need some new blood. I need some fresh faces, some hot takes. Who do you think would fit the show well? And yours was the top of the list. So
yeah, she's great. She and I do a riffing show every Sunday on Stereo app where we literally basically just make up stupid shit and talk about it. So
well, I'm gonna have to hear about that later. Hold on. Stereo app.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a podcast channel network. I don't even know how else to explain it, but it's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely have to check that out.
It's better. People keep talking about Clubhouse, and I feel like Stereo App's actually better than Clubhouse. So.
All right. Well, see, now we've already wasted. This is perfect for the actual show. I've done it. I've done it badly. Nobody's said I'm a good host.
Is this not part of the show? Are
Jordan,
we not on?
Jordan,
we're not live.
Oh, we're on. I can see us on.
We're
on the internet TVs.
Jordan, how many years have you?
Live?
God damn it.
We're live.
It's
never. We're definitely live.
No, you guys.
We're just shooting this shit. Remember?
You guys.
Like he said in the beginning.
I don't know.
You're gonna discover. Jordan is already in the character that he's going to be doing for the rest of the show.
You mean he's himself?
Yeah, that's the read.
That's the beauty is I've known Jordan for a little while. I don't know that I've ever actually met Jordan. It's always the character.
Jesse. Love Jesse, John.
Welcome back, Jordan. It's so good to have you. You've been away.
I've been away. I've been in hiding.
Yeah.
You know, the times are changing, so
it's true.
Don't like time and I don't like changes, so best to get away.
That's fair. All right. Save up all the juicy good stuff, like the confusing everybody else as to whether we're live or are we live. And Daniel, hey there. I see Daniel more often recently than the other two, and now you've muted yourself. You got to figure out your technology, Jordan. I know this is your first Zoom show, but come on.
Me? Wait,
all right.
over there.
There you go. Welcome, Daniel. Welcome. Good to have you too. You know what? I'm not gonna risk wasting any more gold. Oh no, Jordan's gone away. All right, we'll wait. Are we live? Are we? Let's get into it. The people will catch up. I'm not worried about it. They'll file in here. Well, let's just get to it. I want to get to the meat because I get the feeling that we've got some verbosity packed in these three. So I want to make sure we get it going. All right, you guys ready? Sure, why not? Let's get this started. A little earlier than normal, but again, I'm already wasting good content, so I don't want to keep wasting it. So let's do it. All right, here we go. Remember to unmute at the appropriate time. You guys know what you're doing, or you don't. Are we live? Is this live? Is this happening? All right, here we go.
Roughly
You're
24
muted,
to
Jordan.
92 hours ago, Stab's team of comedy
You're
scientists
muted.
commissioned 3 specific humorists to give
All right.
various potentially
we go.
comedic takes on several random topics, which they will now
Love it.
perform for the first and likely last time in front of a live studio audience in a show called Stab.
Welcome to the Stab Show, and we hope you didn't like lime, because all our green bits are sour apple now. Let's meet tonight's panelists. Our first panelist can tell you where any coin was made simply through extensive research. He's a Stab Show favorite. It's Jordan Gannon. Our second panelist has a necklace made of the teeth of guys who have told her to smile. She's a hilarious comedian. It's Nicki Fuchs. And our third panelist once trained a golden retriever to commit tax fraud. He's a co-host of Capital Punishment. It's Daniel Humbarger.
Hello.
And I'm your host, Jesse Jones. Do mind my gap. Welcome to the Stab Show, now celebrating 355 days without actual human contact. Let's meet tonight's panelists. Jordan, hey, buddy.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey there. Welcome.
Hi. I see you in the Stab Theater in the corner there.
It's true. Yeah.
Good to see you. It's been a minute.
It has.
Been a while.
You know what? I've done this for everybody else, and I forgot to pull it up for you. Give me a second here. We've had some people come back to the show that we haven't had in a good long while, and I like to. Daniel playing with all the filters. Do it. Cycle it. You got it. I like to give people updates on just how long it's been. Jordan, for example. Oh no, doesn't even have your last show here. I'm gonna have to do extensive searching. That's how long it's been. I didn't even. Oh, hold on, Jordan. Let's go. Hold on. Oh.
3.5 years. I'm guessing.
I'm gonna say it's. I'm gonna go over. We're gonna go over and under.
4. Yeah. Wow.
Let's see. Oh no. Oof. No, Jordan. Jordan's last appearance at Luna's, October 7th, 2015.
Holy shit.
Yeah, almost 5.5 years for.
I was a young man then. Right.
There's not a whole lot bigger gaps than that. We're so happy to have you back, Jordan.
Thank you.
And you're equally happy to be back. Good to see you. We'll come back around later. You know what? Save it. Don't use it all up right now. Nikki.
Oh my God! I dropped something.
Oh
Okay,
no!
Go ahead. Just keep going.
That's all right. I have to reframe Nikki now. She sat up.
Sorry.
It's all right.
My dog is in my butt right now, so
well.
I need to like research. You know.
Then you know.
It's a hind lick retriever.
Oh, we'll get to you, Daniel. All right. I'll work on framing. This will be fine later. Where is it? Oh, I've forgotten how I do this show. Haven't I been doing this for several months now? Ugh. All right. Well, here we are. I'll fix you. Nikki, welcome. Welcome.
Hi.
Your first time with us.
Yes.
You come highly recommended, as we mentioned in the pre-show. Guys, if you want to hear all the pre-show, you should watch us live. There we go. Got that covered. Come highly recommended from a friend of the show and the theater and just a friend of life in general, Alyssa Cowan. We asked who she would suggest to join us here, and you were the name that came.
Alyssa!
She's over there. No, don't say that, Alyssa. She's over there in the chat. I'm going to stop looking at the chat.
I miss you. Come
Hey.
visit. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah. So you're down in LA right now, you say?
Yeah, I'm in this bar. With
Yeah.
This old guy right here to my
That's good.
whatever that is.
Oh, aren't we all longing for the days when we can hang out in bars in the afternoon with sad regulars?
Yes, and then do comedy.
Yeah, in that same bar, just hanging out.
Yeah. Yep, that's my dream.
Yeah. That's what we've all been holding
That's all
on
I
to.
want.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for much.
I've not purposefully, but I have wound up in like neighborhood bars in the early afternoon hours, and it's weird. I don't know. Just thought.
It's only weird if you're not drinking.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. So
Like,
that's why I
usually
immediately got
it's
to
fun.
drinking. Yeah. Well, Nikki, we're happy to have you. Oh yeah, La's down in LA driving. She's on vacation. You know what? I'm gonna stick over here. Happy to have you, Nikki. Looking forward to seeing what you bring to the program. Daniel Humbarger. Hey there, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome back. Good to have you, sir.
I think this is what we do, but I also would like to profess my affinity for Alyssa because she is a quality human being.
She is.
And
She super
also,
is.
I got a message saying that Jamie Fernandez is tuned in and watching.
Oh,
so
nice. Welcome. Welcome. It's old home week here. Well, happy to have you, Daniel. You've kept busy, largely over this time that we've been all hidden away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just trying to fill time with activities. So yeah, we're doing our pun show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was doing a lot of camping before it got cold,
Mm.
and yeah, just working, man, just doing all sorts of things.
Sure. Got to keep busy. Got to keep busy, or the realization of what's going on will crush us. But happy to have you, Daniel. Yeah, Capital Puns. We usually send our audience over to you guys every Tuesday evening. So you guys have been going strong for a little while too, hearing all of this over on Twitch. We've generally met everybody. They've signaled their finish to this conversation portion by all muting their mics. So I guess that's telling me to start the show. All right, segment 1. It's generally where we start, just because alphanumerically, that's what it dictates. Segment 1, reorganization. Please take the following acronym and reimagine it. Who or what might it now represent? Sometimes acronyms hardly seem worth the effort. As far as I understand the point of acronyms, it's to make something long and unwieldy, easily recognizable, and compact. So when someone, like NASA again, goes so far as to acronymize a single word like shutter to just SHTR, it almost seems like somebody got thrown a task on their desk at 4:55 on a Friday, and now we just have to act like removing less than half the letters from a thing has streamlined and revolutionized communication. Okay. But here we are. So how about, in an effort to heal and trust again, we move past what NASA says SHTR is, and see what you all what else SHTR might stand for or represent to you. We'll start with Jordan. Jordan, what is your SHTR?
Hi, Jesse. I came up with a couple of them, so I'm just gonna read what I.
All right.
So this past year has been one of many ups and downs.
It's true.
While my early investments in Amazon and Bitcoin have paid off, I feel for you. You have suffered the hateful turning of the regime. You lost your job. You moved in with your parents. Your unemployment was initially approved by the state, but then for some reason your former employer decided to contest your claim 3 separate times. So now you owe the state $18,000. Money you clearly don't have because you somehow thought it would be wise to use your unemployment to pay down credit card debt. Say hello to the racetrack. Some say it's the devil's playground, a house of sin and iniquity, a stopping point on the way to an early grave. To those shitters, I say, sure, but have you tried it? It's a great place to while away the days remaining until the next great life and consciousness altering spectacle consumes every moment of waking life. Let me show you the ropes of gambling, picking a winning horsey, and also how to shuffle to the restroom to buy yourself a treat that soothes, heals, treats, and rejiggers your self-held traumas. See, I'm getting them in there, but they're not that good, but that's the point. Anyways, while the government of your state has taken your retirement and may or may not let you work in your profession at all, or at least work without being monitored through a screen housed to your romper room, and your anxiety levels have gone through the roof, let me share the right way to securely horse trade and bet your way to the top. So all you haters, stop hating the regime. Say hello to the racetrack.
Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, it's a volume.
I haven't read words in a while out loud.
That's all right. We're dragging you back out and into the world. And so, in your first one back, you decided it's a volume. As many SHTRs.
Quantity becomes the quality.
Yeah.
In enough, I'm not going to do this the whole time. So we'll figure it out.
Well, thank you, Jordan. Good to see you. Good to have you. Hopefully you left some SHTRs for the other two.
Right?
Nikki, let's hear your introduction to the Stab Show. Let's hear your SHTR.
I was so concerned he was going to say mine. Mine's pretty straightforward and to the point. Stay home, Texas rednecks.
That's fair. You literally don't need any more. I mean, any more would just be belaboring it. Thank you, Nikki. And Daniel, let's find a happy medium.
Why not?
Daniel, let's hear your SHTR.
Okay. Yeah, I took the NASA approach here.
Okay.
But I married NASA with NASCAR. So now it just stands for shitter. But there's more.
Oh, I got it.
Because it's like a TLDR, right? It's like TL and then the semicolon DR, if we can do that. So, you know, we're going to take what NASA did, apply it to NASCAR fans, and it's going to be shit here, turd receptacle. and then it's shitter. So there you go.
Sure. You made shitter short for shitter, and then you made it long for shitter.
That's what I did, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, that was the accordion of reorganizations. Thank you, guys. Well, that's segment 1. There we go. Everybody, yes, Alyssa, everybody loves a good turd receptacle. Where would we be without it? It would be a stinky place. Segment 2, just like that, segment 2. Topical haiku challenge, an old favorite of ours. Please write 3 haiku each on the following news story. I guess this wasn't so much a news story. In 10 days, well, it's sort of news. I guess it's news. It counts as news. I take it back. In 10 days, we will celebrate the 1-year anniversary of our 3-week-long local shelter-in-place order. From the far too familiar surroundings of the place we're still sheltered in. It's hard to believe that this has continued on as long as it has, unless you have ever at any point in your life ever had any experience whatsoever at all with any living American human. So, with this upcoming milestone in mind, why not celebrate it the only way that makes any sense at all anymore, through rigidly structured Japanese verse read over the sounds of a peppy Irish jig. I forgot to load the jig. Hold on. Oh, no. Oh, we never do haikus, so I forgot. Let me add a file. Let's see if I can. Oh, no. Ugh, I'm terrible. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we are. Add file, our peppy Irish jig. Because we used to do a topical haiku challenge to a very racist Japanese tune. Because we were very sensitive in our early days. Now I thought turnabout is fair play. I'm not sure if that's turnabout. Now we do it over.
It just feels like now we're just culturally appropriating the haiku and then whitewashing them with the Irish jig.
Maybe I shouldn't load this track.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, here we are. So, let's turn this down. Let's do it right. Let's live our lives, and let's apologize for it later. So, give me your 3 haiku, your 3 haiku takes on this insane past year. Jordan, and we're going to go 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, around the horn 3 times for Nicki, in case that's necessary for knowledge. Jordan, let's hear haiku 1 about this crazy year.
This one's called The Hammer and the Dance. Think this will end soon? You're wrong. We'll be on this ride as long as we live.
I forgot the peppy, optimistic views of Jordan's haiku game. It's an Irish jig. Nicki, let's hear your first haiku.
It's been 1 fucking year since I was happy.
Yeah, I believe that's probably going to resonate. Daniel, haiku 1, my boy.
All right, this one is titled Silver Linings. It's been easier to avoid seeing people I don't fucking like.
Yes. Unfortunately for me, that's the general public. So, it's a good thing I'm a small business owner. Jordan, let's hear your second haiku about this last crazy fuck year.
This one's called Dark City. You don't remember the way things were. That's the point. Now you can't go back.
I'm getting sadder. I'm getting sadder. Nikki. Haiku 2.
I didn't name them previously,
That's
but
okay.
since we're going for that, this one's named Masturbation.
Sure.
I've never masturbated so much in my life.
Well, somebody was never a 13-year-old boy.
I just look like one.
Oh, no. Come on. Daniel, let's hear your second haiku.
All right. This one is the
Yeah.
The edible kicked in. The politicization.
There you go.
Face coverings. Trump made masks symbols. Dipshit QAnon Proud Boys. The orange cunt.
All right. You know what? I guess if I'm going to ask for a recap of this year, I shouldn't expect it to be upbeat. Oh, Daniel, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought your audio went out. Okay. Let's wrap up some haikuing. Jordan, let's hear your third of 3. I don't like how much you're smiling about it.
This one's called Caste System. As for the elites, rules and laws they don't obey. Their cruelty is the point. We've got another one. No, go ahead.
All right. Nikki, let's hear your third and final haiku.
Okay. Fuck you for wanting to go back to normal.
Yeah. Actually, I do agree with that one. I didn't like it when we were doing it. Let's not rush back to it.
Fuck you, right?
Yeah. No, it's nonsense. All right, Daniel. Let's take this behind the barn and and mercifully end it. Let's hear your final haiku in celebration of the year that was.
Yeah, this one ties back into my last one, and this one is called Taking One for the Team.
Okay.
Why didn't Fauci stab the fucker in his neck? Would have been awesome.
You got to think of the bigger picture. I mean, sure, you would have gone to prison, but you would have been a hero. Or probably firing squad. Yay! That was fun. That gets us quickly, in a hurry, to segment 3. It's closing arguments. It's something that we've started doing recently-ish. It's one of our newer prompts, and I knew with Daniel on the show I was going to have to trot this out so that he can finally get some use out of all that debt. So, closing arguments. All of the evidence has been presented, and it's not looking good for your client. You knew going into this thing that you had a tough case, and now it's time to bring it all home and sway the jury in your favor with your final, powerful closing argument. So go ahead. Try and convince us that your client really isn't as bad as they might initially seem. Hopefully everybody got a closing argument. This is the first time for all of you on this. So, Jordan, let us hear your closing argument in defense of wet blankets.
Wet blankets,
Wet
yeah.
blankets.
I have a statement from my client who's over here, and you know, there are few sure signs that you and your lover have spent a raucous and wonderful night together. Look, I'm not gonna read that. Look, my client, who, yes, when large enough, has enough thermal mass to extract all the heat energy which a human body is capable of producing, and then some, inducing hypothermia and potentially death, being the exact opposite of the ostensible purpose of a blank. Nevertheless, in times of dire need, for instance, not least in the case of, for instance, a nascent fire, which could grow to cause, for example, extensive and unrecoupable property damage. In such a case, a wet blanket would be of just a second. My client is telling me, okay, I don't recommend. My client has informed me that he does not wish to make this. It's a utilitarian argument. There's nothing fun about it. He still doesn't want me to do it. Still doesn't want me to. Fine. Here's another statement from my client. Have you got a squealing child? Would you like to extinguish the cries of laughter and joy emanating from your youthful and exuberant friends and family? Perhaps you'd like to end abruptly and disappointingly all hopes for gaiety and connection in whimsy and gameplay. Look, I'm not going to read this. This doesn't make your case. It does the... He's telling me I'm being a weapon. I'm not going to do this. No, fuck you. I'm sorry. That's my case.
Thank you, Jordan. Sometimes you have to stand for your principles.
Yes.
Oh, that was Jordan's closing arguments in defense of a wet blanket that clearly was having none of it. It's just ready to do its time.
Just wanted to put an end to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Nikki, let's hear your defense of chipping a tooth.
Your Honor, honestly, I feel like it is so hard to close this argument with such a big gap in my teeth, you know? It's bigger than the fucking chipped tooth that this whole case is about. I'm doing just fine with this big fucking gap in my teeth. And you know what? I just feel like this defendant, they can figure it out, right? Like, I can smoke joints. I'm sure the defendant can figure out something special to do with their chipped tooth. Honestly, it's called self-love, Your Honor. We all have imperfections and we just need to learn to love them, you know? I honestly don't think I have a case here. We don't have a case. I can't believe I have to stand up here and tell you my client is not guilty. If anything, my client needs to worry about the chip on his shoulder this whole case is going to cause him to have. My client could be at home eating chocolate chip cookies with his family, but no, he's here having this conversation when this person should be in dental surgery right now, fixing the tooth. Or even better yet, smoking a joint with me in the parking lot after this is over.
Sure.
I can teach you everything. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Nikki. Oh, I feel like I could have scrolled through some more pictures. That was unintentional and then became very glaring. Oh, boy.
Set me up for success.
Oh, and now through this whole thing, I hope you guys are still seeing us. We've been having connection issues. This isn't good. We're going to lose an episode. Hopefully you guys are still getting all of us. Ugh, Comcast. It's the best internet provider that money can be burned for. All right, so I'm just hoping. I'm seeing if there's any interruption. You guys, do you notice anything? Is the audio still coming through? That's all that matters. There might be some freezing for the picture, but this is mostly not a visual medium. We just want to make sure the audio is still good. I don't know. I'm just seeing it. It's dipped a couple times. Cool. All right. Let's say thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Your defense of a chipped tooth, and again, that wasn't. I can never not do something like Daniel. Let's hear tens of thousands of dollars worth of effort for your defense. Your defense of motorcycles with booming sound systems.
Gladly. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, civic pillars of our community, those who wish to identify as other, we're all here today for a reason, and it's not to discuss PC terms. It's to discuss assholes, all right? These guys with their booming motorcycle sound systems, they are assholes, okay? But being an asshole is not a crime, unfortunately. But in this case, that matters because it's not a crime. In fact, the real crime would be if they didn't have a booming sound system. Mm-hmm. And that is because if that were the case, you might think to yourself, oh, hey, that person is probably a fucking idiot that I would never hang out with, but you wouldn't know that they're a fucking idiot that you want to hang out with. Because of the addition of the ridiculous sound system that nobody on this fucking planet ever wants to deal with, all doubt has been removed, okay? All doubt except reasonable doubt, my friends, which is the bar for conviction here, okay? Besides, you just because you don't like hearing the sound of American motorcycle muscle enhanced by Down with the Sickness doesn't mean other people don't, okay? Look at it this way. Next time you're sitting outside enjoying a meal or a drink with a friend who has something interesting to say, and you're hanging on their every word before you're interrupted by one of the most obnoxious legal things left in this great country of ours, use that as a barometer for how well you're doing, okay? At least you're not these fucking pricks, you know? You and your friend can reassure yourselves, hey, and that should make you feel good. And if talking shit about less evolved people acting like outrageous assholes doesn't brighten your day, what's the point of even having freedom? So really, who's the bad guy here? Okay? It's you, convict.
Oh. That changed my entire outlook on the situation.
Yeah, all the debt is suddenly worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, how many classes teach the lean in and the ladies and gentlemen? That's just a Matlock rerun binge.
I learned more there than actual law school, so that makes sense.
That's good to hear. Thank you, Daniel, defending motorcycles with booming sound systems. Oh, God damn it. There's one in our neighborhood. There's one in every neighborhood. Or maybe it's the same guy. I don't know. But now I just look at them with pity. Thank you, Daniel. Segment 4. Just like that. Already in segment 4. Dating profiles. What's love got to do with it? And now that I put it that way, yuck. But it doesn't make it any less true. So if you want to get out there and land that position, again, sorry, you're going to need to present yourself as someone that someone else is going to want to get to know more. So please give us your dating profiles for the following persons, places, or things. Jordan, I don't know. Let's hear your dating profile. Gopher.
Animatronic gopher.
Welcome back to the show, Jordan.
Thank you. I've returned. Hi there. I'm Ferris, and I am an animatronic gopher. A bit about myself. What do I do for work? I am a small business owner. People say, oh, what kind of business? Are you a courier? Like they're clever. No, I'm clever. Where do I come from? And yeah, okay, whatever. I'll get back to it. I grew up on the West Side, crazy, right? And I did work in Anaheim for 40 years. It was a good gig, Splash Mountain. Paid the bills, right? If you're curious what part of the ride it was like when you go up and you're about to see the scary vulture, right before you come down, I was on the other side, People didn't, you wouldn't remember me, right? But I was part of the experience, If I wasn't there, you'd miss me, right? So, anyways, I'm glad to get out of that business. I now own my own small business. Quite frankly, though, to call it a small business at this point, come on. I mean, I manage, 15 people depending on the season, but we're talking. Let me get into this. I'm just going to get into it, okay? A little bit.
All right. Now OBS says it's reconnected. God damn it. Okay. Well, shit biscuits. Is the audio cutting out, you guys? God damn it.
No, the audio's not cutting out or
All right.
anything.
As long as the audio's coming.
It just might not be on all platforms, but I mean, at least Alyssa said YouTube was working.
All right. Well, shit. Damn it. I'm already worried that we've lost a lot of this. This looks bad on my end over here. So.
This is very entertaining.
But this is working. That's the problem. The the Zoom is working just fine. But the broadcast seems to be
I
suffering.
mean, I see it on Facebook and it seems to be just doing. I mean, it says it's like interrupted right now, but.
Yeah.
That's probably.
It was fine.
Well, heck. No, but I
Oh, now it's back. It's back now.
But I take the audio from these recordings, so I feel like we probably lost this show. I hate this. Okay.
Oh no, they were like sad cries. So maybe they did lose.
Okay. It looks like it's running now. I'm sorry, guys. Ugh.
Okay.
Well, we'll see how much of this we lose. I am very upset. We come in, and I reset the modem every time I come in, every day. I unplug it, plug it back in. Well, I'm just going to have to hope for the best. Thank you guys for being patient. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Normally, everything runs perfectly smooth. All right. Well, you guys are great. I hope we got everything from everybody so far. If not, you know what? I'll just have you guys back, and we'll just do the same show. All right. As long as it's showing stable over here, it looks like it's stabilized. Let's get back to it then. All right. Sorry, everybody. Sorry for that. Let me refresh over here. Just check one more thing, and then we'll get over to Nicki. Thank you, Jordan. That's why I'm so upset. That was so much fun. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's believe. It looks like it's solid. All right. Sorry, guys. We just took a hit. Hopefully everything's going to work. And back into the show. Well, you can hear and see me now, Jason. The problem is, how much have we lost over the last 40 minutes? I'll check later, I guess. Nicki. No, we're definitely going to have to hold for a better edit than that. Nicki, let's hear your dating profile for a yard sale.
This was like totally perfect for me because like I am the human version of a yard sale, especially when it comes to Tinder. In particular, like I like to use lyrics in my profile to attract people. And actually I've used these lyrics in my Tinder profile before. Okay, it's a song by the Arctic Monkeys.
Okay.
I want to be your vacuum cleaner, breathing in your dust. If you like your coffee hot, let me be your coffee pot. Let me be your portable heater that you'll get cold without. That's all I have for
Thank
my
you, Nicki.
profile as a yard sale.
So many yard sale items. All right. They've been saying the last 5 to 7 minutes was junk. I'm going to do something that I never do because normally this thing runs much more smoothly. And I missed most of it because I was fretting over everything going down. Jordan, can we get your dating profile again just so they don't miss it and so this whole episode isn't scrapped and I don't hate myself? I'm sorry. You've come back from a hiatus and we're making it harder on you. We're not going to see him for another 5.5 years.
Sure, I will. Yeah, that's fine. Listen.
All right, hold on.
Get my work out there.
Let me get you ramped up here, like a goddamn professional. Even though this is flying off the rails, let's try and keep some professionalism here. Jordan Gannon, let's hear your you know what? I'm going to go all the way to the top. Dating profiles. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hope that's in there somewhere, or I'll re-record it myself. Jordan Gannon, let's hear your dating profile for the first time ever for an animatronic gopher.
Hi there. I'm Ferris, and I am an animatronic gopher. Yeah, I get it. Works on a lot of levels. Okay, a bit about myself. What do I do for work? I am a small business owner. People say, oh, okay, what kind of business? Are you a courier? Yeah, come on, get out of here with that. Like you're clever. I'm clever. I'm clever. Where do I come from? I grew up on the West Side, and it's crazy, right? Like, I did work in Anaheim for like 40 years. It was a good gig. Splash Mountain. Great time. Paid the bills, right? If you're curious of what part of the ride I was on the part where you're going up on the mountain, and you're about to see the scary vulture. I was on the other side. And, most people don't remember me because you're looking at the vulture, but I was on the other side. And, I was part of the experience. You'd miss me if I wasn't there. So it was a good time. Good time. Glad to get out of that business, though. So now, working on my small business, and quite frankly, to call it small at this point, come on, right? Okay, let's get into it. I manage a team of about 15 people, depending on the season, right? It's nettle. I grow and I sell nettle extracts. Okay. They're really big in Korea, Japan, China, it's a big thing. Anyways, but we're talking 20% growth in sales year over year for 5 years with 200,000 or more net profits on a market capitalization of over $1 million. Okay. So to call it small, right? That's a business I started myself 5 years ago. That's, people talk about their businesses though they're a CEO on Instagram. I see this kind of shit. Get out of here with that shit. I started a business. I made it work. I'm an animatronic gopher making a small business work. In this economy, look, I secured my suppliers. Look, I knew something was going to go down last year when I saw that there was some stuff, going on in China. I secured my suppliers. I didn't have any problem with my couriers. I didn't have any problem. And my supply chains were intact the entire time. I actually increased sales this year. So, whatever. But sorry, I get a little hot in the collar. People have it out for animatronic gophers or something. I don't know. We're the same kind of nerd and I'll read this going into my phrases here. If you have 8 distinct hinges, 12 repeating movement patterns, and up to 28 programmable phrases. This is one of those phrases. Thank you for your time. I don't make dating profiles very often, so I don't know what they're like. So I kind of ranted a little bit.
Oh, thank you, Jordan. Oh, I'm sorry. We've literally never done that in 8 years. But I just had to make sure. I didn't want to lose that one. That one was too good. So if you guys got it the whole time, you're welcome. You got it twice. But I was going to make sure we didn't lose that because that happened directly when everything went to crap. So I hope everything's all stable. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you got it a second time, you lucky sons of bitches. Daniel, let's finally move this show forward again. Thank you all for being so patient. Okay, see, they only got it once on Twitch, so that's good. It's good to hear that we made the right call. Daniel, let's hear your dating. Oh shit. I was just remembering what I gave you. Let's hear your dating profile from your high school bedroom.
All right, before I do that, let me just say, Jordan, well done for doing it twice. I could go for a third.
Oh,
okay,
good,
what?
yeah.
This rascal.
Capital Puns, Tuesday nights, 8:30 on Twitch.
All right, so yeah, this is the dating profile for my high school bedroom. If you're into getting your asshole tongued with the soft romantic glow of a green and blue lava lamp reflecting off that Scarface poster everyone had, you know the one. Over to Casa de What's That Smell? You haven't experienced true carnal pleasure until you've presented your turd cutter like it's the roast beef at a Golden Corral buffet languishing under a heat lamp. But instead of roast beef, it's your beehole. And instead of a heat lamp, it's the soft, revealing glow of a black light. The way it reflects those shards of balled-up toilet paper could be considered unflattering by some. But those uptight Karens simply lack imagination. As we fumble in the dark and you reach for your purse to procure protection, maybe your hands will stumble upon the stiffened sock I've used as a cum receptacle and left in the corner. If you get cold easily, fret not. My water bed is always a cozy 88 degrees. If getting tied up is your kink, the wires on my PlayStation controllers come in pretty handy. Lastly, let's set the ambiance with my collection of CDs or compact discs. Completely disorganized in a Case Logic holder. Sarah McLachlan's Fumbling Towards Ecstasy, Filter, and the Crystal Methods debut album, which I'm sure will be the first of many, many great concept art pieces, are always a mood enhancer. We can put Train Spotting in the VCR and plunge ourselves into a tantric fuckfest that will satisfy your... I hope. I mean, I actually get laid very infrequently, so please excuse either the incessant apologizing as I repeatedly claim this never happens, or go with the old standby of trying to play it off like I didn't come prematurely and I'm only stopping because I'm afraid of pregnancy.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Yeah, it's over prematurely.
The perfect companion to that piece. Thank you, Daniel. Dating profile from your high school.
Promise me you won't make me repeat that.
I mean, oh, waterbed, nice. Didn't know you were in high school in 1982. Oh.
I mean, I would have swiped right for sure.
Sure. There's a win.
Thank you, Nikki. You're a peach.
All right, that brings us to segment 5. Thank you guys. Oh, you know what? You guys are troopers. Thank you all for hanging out in there and dealing with our technical difficulties. You know, it never happens. This never happens, guys. So thank you. Let's get to segment 5. Segment 5, Department of Tourism. Sometime in the next 12 to 1,200 weeks, we'll probably be able to go places again. And in your role as the tourism director of the following places, it's like your entire job to convince us of why yours is the place we should show our weird, mask-tanned faces when next we're allowed to. So, why not explain to us why we should want to come visit or live in your particular town-type city place-ville? Jordan Gannon, let's hear your Department of Tourism, your tourism guide for Close-Enough-lahoma.
Thank you for bringing me on here to be the tourism board, tourism guy. Welcome to Close-Enough-lahoma. Are you here yet? Well, sure. Probably. That's what we always say anyway, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, hereabouts, you'll get to enjoy the fruits or vegetables or something of a peaceful, no-frills way of life. In our capital city, which has nearly 1 million or so residents in the unincorporated area, something like that anyhow, this large metropolitan area provides all the amenities for modern life, or very nearly so. Many places to eat and recreate, lakes, fish in them. We're very proud to announce we have a AAA basketball team. Feeds into the NBA, the OKC Thunders or Lightning or whatever they're called. Look, we got comedy clubs, theaters, great industrial developments. Just so good. So just a lot of Okay, can I go on a brief tangent? How much time do we got?
Please.
Do we got time? We got time. Okay. Look, I got to do this though, because look, the founding charter specifically stated that if something is close enough to another thing, it's equal to that thing. And at the Board of Supervisors meetings, of which I am a member, one only has to invoke this part of the charter, and it's basically the end of the discussion, right? And we have a beautiful people. God bless them. They have a rather pious commitment to the founding of this and this aspect of the charter. So it came time for survey teams to do some work some years ago, and they came upon the question of, not to get too much in the weeds, I'm getting to the point here, but they came upon the question of the diagonal of a square, right? And they said, you know what? It's less than 2, but more than 1. Let's call it 1.5. And then they invoked the charter, right? They said, long story short, they decided this as a matter of law, that it's 1.5. And this has lots of ramifications, not to go too deep into it, but really quickly you realize that, for instance, 2 is equal to 2 1/4, right? So, and so on. So you have things like, things not being equal to themselves, right? And less being the same as more, and more being less than itself, and things not being, we measure the height of our clock tower downtown. It turns out it's smaller than itself. Okay, so eventually we had to throw out number altogether. No number. We have 1, more / less than 1, and those are the same anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, look, I want to sell you on the town, okay? I want to sell it to you, or the thing, I don't even know. But look, besides having the greatest, spice dishes in the world or whatever, we also have no concept for the possibility of knowledge. We lost that a while ago. So, now something more interesting has happened since then. As kind of a follow-on of that, we came to recognize our own shadows are more substantial than ourselves. We are but phantoms of our own shadows, occupying no place and no time, there and not there, sort of like we don't live by the light of the sun anymore. We are but darkness visible, to quote or not quote Milton's description of hell. And I'll tell you what, you already may be here, right? Because I'm not going to say you're not here, because you're either here, I don't know. We couldn't possibly measure where the bounds of our land begin or don't, end, right? So, whatever. I'll enjoin you to forget about all that, just come on down. Just come on down. Just enjoy the local cuisine. Get the taste of the local flair. You're sure to enjoy it. We don't have music because we can't keep time. But we just have great things. We just have great things.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jordan. Oh, you know what? It was worth the wait. 5.5. It was. I don't know who else could have taken Close-Enough-lahoma in quite that direction. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Oh, so good. Oh, we've missed you so much. Where? I mean, this is where we get the plugs in. I don't know if you have any, but I'm going to throw them out there anyway. Where might people enjoy Jordan Gannon online or anywhere outside of this particular episode of the Stab Show?
Yeah, you can't find me.
Yeah.
I'm not online. I don't like it. I mean, I look at it a lot. I think about it a lot, but I'm a lurker. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. My account's private. Please don't message me. All of the things I don't post anymore. It became a thing. So, maybe someday, but I do have an Instagram, and that's how you found me, and then it's private accounts or whatever. But that's it. Yeah, I don't have no Twitter. They banned me from Twitter. No, they didn't ban me, but I didn't want to do the 2-factor authentication because I didn't want to give them my phone number. So
wow.
I lost my account, and then I didn't make a new one.
Well, I mean, when you commit to getting off the grid, you commit. Well, I'm glad I was on the inside of that private account. And I guess if the only way that we're going to get more Jordan is to bother you and have you on the show way too much, then so be it. Thank you, Jordan. So good. Appreciate you very much. Nicki, let's hear your tourism guide to Tacky-sburgh.
Yes, Tacky-sburgh. We're better than the Pittsburgh, and that's our motto. Everything is tacky here, even our personalities. Our only rule is that this is the only place where you go to wear Mardi Gras beads all year round. On weekends, you can enjoy a stroll down Main Street to 3 of our local dive bars. I don't know where this accent is coming from. It's changing every 30 seconds. Bear with me. This is my tacky personality coming out. Yeah, so all of our 3 local dive bars are filled with taxidermy.
Yeah.
Don't worry. All of the animals were not, harmed. We just found them on our roads in our counties. It's normal.
Sure.
You can see pigeons, owl, seagulls, and turkeys if you come to our dive bars. Yes. Sometimes prairie dogs and squirrels too. So Tacky's Tavern, the main dive bar in our town, has actually our most prized possession, Mildred the moose. Okay. We have hundreds of people that flock to her every year to throw coins at her taxidermied body for good luck. So you got that to look forward to. I should mention, we also have the biggest bingo hall in the state. So that is definitely a crowd pleaser. I think the biggest crowd pleaser actually is the what we call the titillating Tacky-sburgh State Fair. Yeah, that's actually what it's called. Titillating is in that word. I mean, title, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying right now. And I just want y'all to know you'll never miss out on the state fair, because in Tacky-sburgh, our state fair is every weekend, every year. All the time, right? Every weekend. So, yeah, and it's the biggest attraction because there's a lot of crazy things, right? Like from the attire required to enter the fair, to the fair rides, to the amazing plethora of culturally diverse food at the fair. You will want to come back every year, for the rest of your tacky ass life. That's what you're going to want to do. The dress code. Let me tell you about the dress code.
Yes.
Your most garish outfits are what gets you into the fair. So don't forget that. Anything from cubic zirconia encrusted 10-inch heels to the fakest looking toupees men own, okay? For everyone's safety, you are required to wear as much body glitter as your body can possibly handle. It's a requirement by law in the state of Tacky-sburgh. Rides and attractions include 10-minute rides on the backs of guinea pigs or cows. Your choice. We're proud owners of the tackiest merry-go-round in the country. I might add, instead of unicorns and ponies like your normal merry-go-round, we actually have sea creatures like manatees and sunfish that you can ride. They were once real as well.
Oh.
They were taxidermied. The culturally diverse foods I just need to get before this is gonna convince you more than anything. I swear to God, you know, it ranges from raw hot dogs to fried Oreos, okay? And we're the only place in the United States of America that has 24 flavors of macaroni and cheese. Come visit Tacky-sburgh and enjoy your tacky side that everyone's been talking about behind your back this whole time.
Oh, thank you, Nicki.
Okay.
I know myself and too many people watching are too attracted to this place. It
sounds kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
I went with sound amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I was already sold, but then the mac and cheese thing happened.
Dude, I know. That was like the most brilliant part.
Yeah.
Man, you can have a different flavor of mac and cheese almost every day for a whole month.
Yeah, and it just repeated every month. Yeah. But you go to the state fair.
State fair every weekend. Oh, so tacky. So many tiny striper mirrors.
Anything.
So many darts into so many balloons. All right. Thank you, Nicki. Where can folk enjoy you and what you get up to outside of this very specific hour plus here on the Stab Show?
You can actually, I put my Instagram, Stereo app, and Twitter handle in my name. So just find me on there and follow me. I post everything. Probably too much information.
That's what we do nowadays.
That's where you can find me.
Well, awesome, Nicki. Thank you so much. So much fun. So glad. So happy to have you. Daniel, since we do like to go out on the pop, where can folk find and enjoy Daniel Humbarger out in the wastes?
So Tuesdays at 8:30 on Twitch at Capital Puns, spelled with an O.
Yes.
It's capital Puns. No, it's Capital Puns. And then I'm on Instagram. I quit Facebook, and that feels real good.
I imagine, yeah.
So I'm keeping with that, and I'm not on there. So yeah, let's just do Instagram, and then and then on YouTube, I make some redneck nature parody videos with my friend Morgan, and you can find that if you look for Denny and Tammy muskoxen.
Nice. Yeah, had Denny and Tammy on the summer camp show not too long ago, and it was a lot of fun. So
it was fun.
Happy to have you in this general sphere of the world, Daniel. Nice to see you. Thanks for doing the show again. Let's finish this show that we're speaking of. Let's hear your tourism guide for the new Hella Islands.
Okay. Do you like islands? Bitch, I said, do you like islands? Not the tropical themed shitty restaurant islands, but like actual islands. Listen, asshole, I'm talking archipelagos here. Like numerous islands within a relatively small area of one another. Not like Indonesia, but kind of like Indonesia. You get the idea. If little plots of land dotting the seascape make your pecker do a flagpole impersonation, or your clitoris turn into an elevator button, then Hella Islands are for you, BB. We got so many islands, I don't even know how many, but it's hella. All right, you can trust, you can bank on that. You can take it to the bank. One of our islands is just a bank. So we got that too. But I feel like I'm getting off topic. We're talking about islands, not banks, you guys. Also, does anyone else find it weird that there's a random S in island? Like, is land? Of course it's land. Otherwise, it'd just be more water. All right. That Essen Island, I don't like it. It seems gratuitous and unnecessary. But you know what's gratuitous and not unnecessary is how many goddamn islands we have here at Hella Islands. Still not as many as Indonesia, but also probably not going to get typhoid at Hella Islands. And I think that's a real possibility in Indonesia. Like, the more islands you have, the more difficult it is to keep track of the typhoids. But not us, not Hella Islands. We have the maximum amount of islands you can have before the tipping point, before the threshold of it being too many islands to keep track of the typhoids. Anyway, yeah, y'all. Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Just like our islands, don't stop because there's hella of them, but not too many. It's pretty great. It's good stuff. The amount of islands we have here at Hella Islands, wow. You know, it's really something. You're going to like it here for sure. Just bring a raft or a kayak or a flotation device of some sort because you'll want to be able to go visit the other islands. You know, you're going to want to probably check out more than one island of our Hella Island because there's a lot of them. So come on down. The price is right for Hella Islands, and all that's missing is you and that pretty girl who went to some islands for spring break and totally got murdered by the son of a 1%er. But that shit didn't happen at Hella Islands. It happened in the Caribbean, which also has Hella Islands, but also way more spring break murders. So anyway, that's gonna do. We're wrapping it up. That's it for me on behalf of Hella Islands. This ad paid for Hella Islands Department of Tourism and Ecological Disaster Public Relations Bureau.
Thank you, Daniel. The new Hella Islands. And that was Stab. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And a big thank you one more time to tonight's amazing panel, Jordan Gannon, Nicki Fuchs, and Daniel Humbarger. If you like what you heard tonight, and why wouldn't you, why not check out some of the other 256 episodes of The Stab Show available through your podcast outlet of choice? Too many, I'll admit. Be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or Podknife. And if you'd like to catch these shows recorded live as they happen, all you have to do is tune in to Stab Comedy Theater TV every Thursday night at 8 p.m. That's all we have for tonight. I've been your host, Jesse Jones, and until next time, treat yourself to something special. On me. I mean, you'll have to pay for it, but if it's the thought that really counts, then it's on me. Good night, everybody. Oh, good stuff, y'all. So we're still on. I know that's confusing. That's just the out of the show proper. Just want to thank you guys again, personally, directly. Thank you guys. So much fun. Oh,
thanks,
you guys.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
And Jordan, you had me in tears with that. Close enough.
That was too much.
Close-Enough-lahoma or whatever. That was amazing. Yeah. Well done.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'm not going to keep you since we had all our difficulties that made us run a little bit long. You guys are troopers. Thanks a lot. We're going to send you off. Let me turn this down so we don't blast everybody out with the goodbye music here. We're going to send you guys off to who's still doing something. We're going to send the Twitch audience out into the world. Well, Comedy Sports Chicago's still doing stuff. Pack Theater's doing stuff. Oh, wait, no, everything just shuffled. Comedy Sports Chicago is not still doing stuff. Then how about we send you over to... let's send you guys over to the Pack Theater down in Los Angeles. Hit you to Santa Monica Boulevard. Basically Hollywood, but I wouldn't say that. Thank you guys for hanging out. We will see you again tomorrow. Check out the full calendar of events at stabcomedytheater.com, or if you're on Twitch, just scroll down. The upcoming week's events are right below. Hang on for the raid, and hope to see you tomorrow for regular exclusive blend at 7 o'clock and Fill My Heart at 9. Hold on for the raid. Oh, they don't have the in the name. It's just Pack Theater. There it is. All right, here you guys go.